Hello, it's Chris, and welcome back to the sea. What do we have on the show today? Well, this is a continuation of the adventures of Dr. Chris and Q, Hold and Modify. We toured around the old Westchester facility, and you really can't do nothing there because it's QVC, a live TV studio. And then we went to MOS, metal oxide semiconductor, the former chip fab place where your Commodore basically was built. Not necessarily your every Amiga, but the chip fab was done there, the 128, the Kim 1, PETs, all of the history of Commodore started there. And I had to pay homage to the building, so I stuck one of the Commodore stickers that Mr. Matt so long ago printed me on the old vinyl printer, and it says Commodore and Amiga. You saw that. This is Mr. Kevin's friend's A1200, and it is in this original Amatote. If you haven't seen one of these, I've never saw one. Amatote. It's old. It's from Left Hemisphere, and it is a custom case, carrying case for your Amiga. I'm going to be very careful with its zipper, and I mean, it's old threads. And inside you have stuff. There's a floppy disk in here, Workbench. So this is the Amiga 1200. The power supply and a joystick is in here. Atari joystick in black. No power supply. But I guess I could hold it because you can see how it folds, it flips up. It's got a mouse in here and the old Commodore DB23 to D-Sub 15. So I'm not going to throw this like I normally throw all the other stuff. I'm going to carefully place it on the ground. So this is a 1200 of I have no idea. UK model. Seal's broken. That's fine. Pop off the door here. We have a what do we have in here? Oh, CSA Derringer with a SCSI module. 50 megahertz 030, 50 megahertz FPU, 100 megahertz crystal divided by 2. It has, I don't know, some numbers on it. I'm going to pop the screws out of it. Some of them are Torx bits, some of these are Phillips. Bought a new Loreana when I was at Micro Center. 5-inch micro cutting pliers. 1.6 millimeter precise cutting non-slip. So it had a scissor thing for extra power. But I got it because it's angled. I don't know if it's going to be good. It doesn't open very wide. My Loreanas I get at Harbor Freight. So might be something for certain jobs. Carefully lift up on the ribbon so I can carefully remove the cable. The tape is still intact. That prevents chafing. Cable. Still got the shielding for some reason. It has an electrical taped compact flash adapter with a SanDisk 8 meg card. Battery backed up clock. Here's the top of the thing, and you can see the SCSI port is loosely just sitting in there. I don't know how you would even attach that. It would need a 3D printed bracket. It's a L, or maybe there's something that holds it underneath the floppy. I don't know. Today's interrupter is Discord, Mr. Michael from out west, laughing at some of my photos of me standing in front of the Moss building and Mr. Kevin took in black and white. Low, high. Hard drive is doing hard drive stuff, if it works. It is Kickstart 3 and it works. It's in a multi-scan, and this mouse is horrid. Why is my mouse not moving left? Oh, there. I guess I should use a mouse pad. That would help, dummy. Hey, look at that. Well, I'm afraid that the big toe is dying a death here. There we go. So this works. 8 megs of RAM, 2 megs of chip. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm going to give this the old standard lung cleaning. And we'll service the floppy drive if needed. Disk is in. This hard drive light suffers from the same crap as other Chinesium adapters where the light just stays on. Floppy drive does floppy. She is a NTSC Amiga, 60 to 30, 60 hertz memory, 8 and 2. I'm not going to test it right now. We're going to floppy drive. We'll do. I don't have a keyboard hooked up. This mouse is really getting on my nerve. Head calibration. We're looking for 11s of 11s. That's good. And the trick is you press F2 and you move the cylinder 40 and then you move the cylinder 79. So that gives you the full range of motion of your test. I know these have been, this drive is perfect. I know these have been done many times from many people. And there you go. So this drive is working. Now my discs, I don't know the condition of all of my discs, but they're all 20 something years old. So disk works. Battery backed up clock. Oh my god. 642. It's got a dead battery. That's on the clock port. It's 1982. That's good. 00F8. 0033. Alice and Lisa IDs. Perfect. We're looking good. The newer one too, this is 1.6, so 1.8 and newer of ATK will show you the hertz. And you also can toggle between PAL or NTSC. Video is perfect. This is a perfectly working Amiga. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just been sitting in a closet forever. Now, back to the lecture at hand. Today's interrupter is Discord Mr. Tesro. We were talking about Amiga and he did some recapping on a Amiga 4000. Looks great. And then we were discussing other distros of burnable, bootable OSs. Okay, slide the disk out of the way. Now we get a better look at how this SCSI thing connects. It doesn't. It just sits in here. Oh, it does have a screw that's missing. So there's a screw that goes in the bottom of the hole here that would hold this in place. So the metal shielding's still intact. It's still on there. I'm going to pull this off. Hard drive, floppy, door. I'm going to go back to my display of Linux. That way the DVOOM shows how many Amigas have been saved. We're going to grab, ouch, my poker here, bend the tabs up. Now, if you're worried that I'm touching this, there are more fingerprints on this than I've seen, so I'm not worried about causing any fingerprint damage. So I will still wipe it down just out of respect. And oh, ow, that hurt my finger. I treat your machines better than my own. With that done, we're going to carefully remove the shielding top. So here is our shielding top. Bottom still looks pretty good. Top, seen better days. You could sand these down and spray them with the aluminized paint. Full clock port. Budgie fixes. pcmcia looks good. We're going to pull the board out. I'm going to get the CSA out of here carefully with its adapter intact. We'll drop that out at the bottom. Oh, it's CSA 12 gauge is this one's. Nice card. Nice card. I thought it was a Derringer. They always did the firearms type of naming convention. When Kevin and I were traveling around the Westchester, Norristown area yesterday for the Commodore spiel, we also went by GVP, or Great Valley, and we were going to stop by Great Valley Products, but we didn't have time. So bottom of the case looks good. What does the bottom of the shell look like? Fingerprints, not mine. Looks like I might be able to still get them out. Plastic is intact. We're going to remove the 5mm dudes. Nut driver nuts, 5mm nuts. This looks pretty good. There's a spill of goop in there. You can see right around here. Something. It's only on the plastic. Double-sided board. Oh, somebody's been in here. RF modulated. You're looking in this area mainly in the RGB and audio circuit. Look for dark solders on the sides of the caps. Also here, look near the op amp, the right and left audio channel capacitors. We're going to wash this with just some gentle soap and water. And this is a little crusty, so I'm going to scrub this. And then we're going to stick it out in the sun. Welcome to my kitchen. There's my dog. There's Barney, aka Bob Barker. Hey doofus. 1200. Palmolive, because that's the soap that's here. Okay. Plastic bits have been scrubbed. The parts have been dried with a paper towel. We're just going to let them sit out in the sun. Dog's going to inspect them to make sure they are within tolerance. I didn't scrub them super hard, but I just want to get the crust off of them. There's a couple rub spots where, like, the floppy disk or the accelerator has bumped the plastic over the years. And the bottom I don't really even think needs to be done, but I'm going to do it anyway. I won't leave this one out here that long. This one's going to stay out for a while. It was very dirty, crusty around the normal key usage spots, floppy disk insertion, stuff like that. Had that spill of blood, or I don't know, teenage usage of whatever. In the meantime, I'm making an everything bagel from Thomas's, and that way I'm gonna put this Wick's brand garden vegetable, Wise brand, We Is brand. It's called Wise. I don't. Yeah. So garden vegetable, cream cheese. Forward my bagel.
Get in my belly!
I'm back downstairs. Bagel's done. I dropped that SOB right on my chest, so I had to alcohol and scrub my shirt. That's useless information, but it was hilarious. I should have just recorded that. But prison bracelet is on my ankle, in case you're wondering. But my table's made of wood anyway, so it doesn't matter. It does have a metal frame that's grounded into the house, and everybody's happy. Now, the way I do capacitors may not be the way you do capacitors, but it's the way I do capacitors, and it works for me. How do I do it? I've explained it numerous times. I take my finger and I place it on capacitor. I opened this Loreana that I got at Harbor Freight Tools for $5. It's an angled chick, so you're not flat, you're on an angle, and it's flat. And I hold the finger on the capacitor and I do a single cut. Poof, pops the top. There's a ring of aluminum left. I do again, hold, do a relief cut on that ring. Holding, peel that ring off, you're left with the two remaining teats from where you cut off, a rubber gasket, and a plastic ring. Cut those metal teats down flush, everything else will fly off, no problem. Pause, rewind, repeat. Through holes I do a little bit different. I snip their legs, I heat them up, I pull them through, debraid, or solder suck the holes. I'm not going to bore you with it. I will fast forward this endeavor of removal of the caps, so you can watch it for your fun. some crusties in there. Some crusties. We're going to use Super Such, 99% isopropyl alcohol, and just soak it down. Butt wiped cotton swab full of electrolytic acids and meth. After cleaning and debraiding and scrubbing and alcoholing, the board is clean. Hey, look at that. Alright, so clean pads, clean holes for through holes. It's 12:11 p.m. 18 new capacitors. Peeled off a crusty sticker here. We're going to give this thing the christening. I'm just going to hook it up without the CSA. And then I have to clean this up somehow. Modulator is left upon request. Now you'll notice that the IDE thing is not solid lighting the hard drive because the little thing doesn't have that. So that's it. If you're wondering why there's some weird snow going across the screen, it's because I'm on solar. There you go. Crystal clear. Looks great. And we'll test the composite video too. While we're here, 1200s do have a composite video that is color, like the 600. I'll turn this off. Alright. Let's go to the composite. It's not as clear, but it's color. Back to VGA or RGB, crystal clear. Okay, turn that off. Here. And in this bag are a bunch of hard drives. This is a hard drive that would fit in the tray slots of the Amiga. This says IBM May 96. What happens? I don't know. Let's see what happens with these drives. Do they work? It makes some noise. We're going to use this Workbench 3.0 disk. This is the user's workbench with the craziest resolution. Let's try to boot the hard drive. It just tried to boot the hard drive. Now it's booting install. Oh, the hard drive's booting. Well, shoot. The hard drive booted. It's sort of working, but it's not. It's validating the hard drive. I need to let it sit. So the hard drive works. There's the hard drive. Floppy light went out. Yeah, work still doesn't load. It's having some issues. I have 3.0 actual disks that I haven't used in God knows how long. This will let us see what's going on the hard drive. So DF0 is 13% full. Let's see what's in startup that could be hosing it. Come on, mouse. Are you giving me crap? My big toe mouse is giving me problems. There's nothing in Workbench Startup. Scala's in there, work, Bars and Pipes Professional, Apps English, install log file, DCTV, Scala, real version, readme, AREX samples. There's a lot of stuff on here. 170 megs in use. Alright. If it was a SCSI drive, I could do the init on a Zulu and let it image the whole drive. I'm limited on the stuff that I have. Okay, so that's that drive. That drive is functional. I'm going to write good on it. Red Sharpie on the metal so you can alcohol it off. Okay, 2024. There's this thing. A jumper that says Arch OS. What the heck is this? Oh, this is a pcmcia hard disk from Seagate. I guess it's this, and this is a jumper. This is that. Okay, so this is a pcmcia hard drive. What is this? What is this for? Let's see what this does. That is interesting. So it just plugs into the pcmcia slot, and let's turn on. The light will never work. The disc is dead. Doesn't even start up. It almost sounds like power. Like it's power related. Like it can't. No power, Captain. LED. Oh, this wire is an LED. It's ripped. It's been. Okay. So this was a LED right here. It's extremely old. Let's take it out of there. Okay, so here's the drive. Oh, it has separated from the board. The controller board is separating. See that? So it has detached. There's supposed to be 2 screws on the end here that are not there. Alright, so I have carefully laid this hard drive. The board is coming off. Someone unscrewed it. I don't think this will provide enough power over pcmcia. Let's see if we can get it to spin. Spin. What's on this disc? Nothing. I'm going to let it run for a minute. Was this a DF1 type scenario? Let's spin down. Double mouse button on start. Let's see what it says on this disc. If it lists the volume, at least we're in a start. DFO, DF1. Let's boot something, if it's even a good drive. It's spinning, but it ain't doing too well. Yeah, I can't find it. It's not even probing the light. It doesn't even answer. And I'm going to try putting this back in its original little pcmcia case of weirdness here. That drive is dead. There's nothing I can do on that drive. So that's probably where the information is on that drive. The internal drive, this drive still functions, so that's marked as okay. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do on bad media. But this Amiga is saved. Okay, there's the little SD card solution back that always lights up the hard drive light. Back the way it was with Workbench and storage and things that were there. Click to front. Sysinfo. Final writer. Old. Scenery animator. So let's see. 4.3. Not that old. 16030 882. How's she fare with this CSA 12 gauge in here? And SCSI. Acceleration 51.8 megahertz. Give her the cold shower tug. Pow. She's faster than an A3000, right at half the power of an A4000. Don't let that fool you. Don't let the cold shower tug fool you. So anyway, memory, 8 megs 32-bit, 2 megs chip. That's it. And it drives. Then we have DH0, DH1, speed 1.6. That's the PIO mode 0. So there is something on this that I have to run for the CSA to make the SCSI used. It's a little 25 pinner out the back, CSA SCSI.device. It's not on here, so it's not going to show. It does show the board, but a working Amiga is better than a non-working Amiga. So we have a compact flash solution, a freshly recapped Amiga. And I'm going to write on my Dr. Chris sticker, recap 2024. So there we go. Recap 2024. Peel it off if you don't want it. It's out of the way, not touching anything, not hurting anything. Just for your memory. All Nichicon caps, all brand new. No Chinese stuff here. And this is just my interlude on some of the repairs to offset the time, because it's a lot of stuff, a lot of content. You have to check out his channel for his view of things. Now, I'm sorry I didn't get to do a lot of the diner, but who wants to see a fat dude eat? Alright, so we're going to go check on the case. Actually, I'm just going to go check on it myself. It's been 3 hours now sitting out in the bright sun. Looks really nice. I didn't super duper try to scrub out any abrasions, but it's clean, defunkified, looks nice. Mr. Mark from Chattanooga, Tennessee reached out to me in the old email and wrote and said, hey, do you need any drive rails for the 4000T? And I said, okay, sure, if you don't mind. So let me know what I owe you for the shipping and how much you want for them. And he said, just keep doing your videos. I said, okay. And I thought I was getting one. I got 2 pounds of drive rails. So if you have a 4000 tower and you need some of the drive rails, I have a couple of them. Thank you, Mr. Mark. The manufacturer brand of them is Enlight drive rails. So Mr. Mark wrote, hey, do you need some extra drive rails for the 4000 tower? Apparently they use Enlight drive rails. I have a supply and can send you some. Here is an example. He sent me a photo. I said, give me your PayPal address and I'll reimburse you for shipping and anything you want for the rails. He goes, nah, the videos are worth what I'm sending you. And I said, well, thank you, sir. Look for your shout out coming to a future video. So Mr. Mark from Chattanooga, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. And if anyone else needs some 4000 tower drive rails, they are the Enlight brand, or you can just shoot me an email and I will ship you some. As long as you don't live in Kyrgyzstan. Let's get back to the lecture at hand. Perfection is perception, so I'm going to let them understand from a young G's perspective. This thing needs to be cleaned. For such, I'm using a Kimtech Science Wipes because there's science in there and I need some of that. But we got some, hopefully some fingerprints out. Let's try it with the lungs in a can. It looks a lot better. There was a big here and one up here. There is a little bit of rust right there, but I'll do my best not to touch that. Okay, Kimtech, wipe any fingerprints I can off of the back. It's like it doesn't fit in that bracket, so it's never going to fit down enough. I'm going to break out my glue gun here. I'm going to glue this in. Better than having it flop all over the place. And it's hot glue, so it peels right off. Structural, I got to snot it up really good. So I just hot glued it in place. Right on the top, just as a ring of snot, and it makes it look more legitimate. Because of the stupid adapter, the hard drive light stays on all the time because it's the Chinese name adapter, and there's our dark gray workbench of our Amiga that works fine. 8 megs, fresh cap, NTSC high-res lace, maximum color. You know, if you turn this down to like 8, it runs so much faster and you get all your chip RAM back. 1.9 megs. It looks the same, but much more peppy. There you go. One revived Amiga 1200. That's 290. What does that say? See, I have 293, so that's wrong. So this is 294. The Devoom keeps being stupid. I clicked the wrong one, so I have 291, 294 is what it says. That's where I just did. I don't know how to do this. Every single time I do this, I click the button, and it's downloading, so I'm going to have the wrong one. And all those defunkified, you could spend some time with a cotton swab and some love, and get all the little dents and scratches and things out of here, that like a rust bubble, and really take your time to just get her 100%. See, it should say 294. Upload. Local gallery. 294, right? 294. Okay, name already exists. Why does it say 291? Because I got to do this? Oh yeah, that's why I got to do it. So this, delete current design, add, me, local, 294, upload to device. What am I on the paper? I'm on 294, and that should say 294 in a second, because I remembered how to do it that I forgot. My room was clean. 293. What am I supposed to be on? 294. 294. There we go. It's probably more than that. I just forgot how to do it. Semi-clean D-food fingered keyboard. Another Amiga's been saved. That's all I got for this episode. There's going to be more. I'll have to excerpt to another one because it's been too long. I hope you enjoyed this adventures of Dr. Chris and Hold and Modify as we went around our various places and ate and had a good time while I was on vacation for a couple days and he came up. So thank you guys for watching, coming along on this journey. If you would like to help me continue to save Amigas, please consider joining my Patreon below. It helps me buy the parts and the tools and the supplies and the chips and the stuff that I need to help keep this stream alive. Thank you guys for coming along on this journey. Thank you to all my supporters. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?